Alright guys, you're seeing a little goodie I got on Wednesday. A client lost a bet with my boss, so he brought us all coffee. This lasted us pretty much all day. Pretty good start to the day. Up next is just some posing from later that day, and I had done my hit session on the elliptical before this, so my legs are a little bit puffy, and I'm obviously quite washed out right here, but I can definitely see some changes. It's hard to see everything in this lighting. I'm not usually home at this time, so I don't usually get to pose at this time, so that's why it looks a little bit different than it normally does. But like I said, I see some changes, I felt some changes, and I feel like even in this lighting I don't look as flat as I did in my last posing video. Unfortunately, I probably will be a little bit flat until peak week, so I got a long way to go being flat the entire time, but that's just part of prep. My carbs aren't very high, and that's so that I can lose weight. Being flat's part of the result, but I will front load. I'll load carbs early in the week of peak week and then taper them off as the show gets closer, because I'd rather do that and be not quite as full as I could possibly be than spill over and look soft, watery on stage. So that's the way I approach peak week. And I didn't hit these poses in any particular order. I didn't even hit every pose, I don't think. I just kind of went with it and hit the poses that I felt like hitting. And I really don't enjoy doing the back poses. I always mention this in posing videos that I'm not a fan of my back. It just looks weird to me. But I do have to do these poses, and I need to do them the best that I can, especially since my back is a weakness. So I definitely want to make sure that I do my back as much justice as possible, despite the fact that it is not a strong point at all. And I got some closer shots here. You can see more vascularity, more striations here, but I'm still washed out, so it's hard to see everything. And later that day I went to Starbucks. This is a Trenta iced water with 2 scoops of matcha powder. It's 83 cents. I also added 2 packets of Splenda. Pretty low in calories, unlike this big sexy girly drink Bridget got. This is a meal I had later. Those are actually Better Than Eggs Plus. That's the brand, so they add omega-3s. It's like 3 grams of fat for that 300-gram serving I had there. 3 Joseph's pitas, and then the marinara type stuff is actually canned pumpkin mixed with canned diced tomatoes and then seasoned quite a bit. It's pretty good. Makes a pretty good low-calorie spread if you're a cheapo like I am. And this is some training from Thursday. This was my worst day training-wise of prep so far. The plan on paper or on a spreadsheet on my computer was 6 sets of 3 with 370, but I knew going in that I wasn't going to do that because of the way my training session went earlier in the week, so I was planning on 3 sets of 3, calling it a day and getting out. I got 2 sets of 3. On the 3rd set, I probably could have ground out, I don't know, a 3rd rep, but every rep just felt off. Every single rep of this session was a misgroove. None of them felt right, and I think my belt is kind of in that in-between stage. I couldn't really tighten it anymore right now, but it's a little bit too loose, and I don't want to put another hole in it or anything like that, because I don't think it would have helped me this day. It just wasn't a good day. But what I'm going to do moving forward, I'm going to lower my training max 10 pounds and then continue next week like nothing went wrong. So instead of the weight progressing next week as it has been, it will be going down on one of my squat days and then staying the same on the other squat day, and I'll be doing fewer reps per set. So everything should be okay. I don't want to panic and just really lower volume a ton, because I don't think that would help me. Just going to lower the weight just a little. Close enough. Here's some training from earlier today. It was 6 sets of 3 with 225 on bench. Everything went fine. No real grinders, no really tough reps. I'm using a little bit of a conservative max on bench press, so I didn't expect to have any problems, but I'm not using a super aggressive max on squat either. It just hasn't been going well, and part of that is due to adding in cardio, which is taking a toll on my legs. So stuff like that is to be expected at the end of prep when you get really close to the show. And I'm still 7 weeks out, but that's close enough for me to start really seeing some strength decreases. And as far as my macros go, low days are still the same. 210 protein, 225 carbs, 45 fat. My Wednesday refeed, I've lowered protein to 180 so that I could raise carbs to 350 and keep calories the same. So it will be 180 protein, 350 carbs, 40 to 45 fat. I've done that for energy reasons. And then on Sunday, I will be doing 180 protein, 400 carbs, 40 to 45 fat. Now you're seeing what I took to work today. It's a big thing of puffed wheat. Right there is protein powder, mocha cappuccino flavor. I mixed it in with the puffed wheat for flavor. That's almond breeze that I've already weighed out so I could take it to work. Up there's what I had post-workout. Those little things are 1 gram of protein, 11 carbs, 1.5 fat. So I use them quite a bit during the week. These are some muffins that I actually never ended up trying. Pumpkin walnut muffins that a client brought. I just really couldn't estimate closely enough on those. And here's my cereal. It's quite a bit of volume, not a whole lot of calories. I ate this during a break while I watched some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Amazon Instant Video. The 1990 original movie, or 1989, something like that. Here it is once it's all stirred up and everything. It's a pretty big bowl too. It was pretty satisfying. Or as satisfying as anything is right now. I enjoyed it. Here's a little bit of TMNT action. My favorite's Michelangelo. He's the goofiest one, so I always liked him the best. And he has sweet nunchucks. I'm going to end this video here. I feel like I've rambled for the majority of it. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and don't if you didn't. I'll talk to you next time.